Well, that's a lot to digest. Thank you. Madam Chair, before we get into the substance here, I've got a simple question. What the hell are Republicans so afraid of? What the hell are you so scared of that you guys are holding this hearing at 1 o'clock in the morning? It's a simple question that speaks to the heart of what's going on here, and one that I'm going to keep on asking. If Republicans are so proud of what is in this bill, then why are you trying to ram it through in the dead of night? If you guys are so proud to kick 14 million people off Medicaid, if you guys are so proud to rip food assistance out of the refrigerators of moms and dads and their kids, if you guys are so proud of shutting down rural hospitals and hurting our farmers, if you guys really think these are such great, awesome, beautiful things to do, like Trump keeps saying, then why not hold this hearing at 1 p.m. and not 1 a.m.? Why not debate this bill in prime time when most of the American people can watch? It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I think it's prime time in Guam. And I think it's crystal clear. It's crystal clear to everyone what this is all about. Now, the chairwoman wants to pretend like meeting at 1 o'clock in the morning is business as usual around here. It is not. This is not normal at all. She had to go back 20 years into the archives to dig up a single example of rules meeting at 1 a.m. And I guess, is that supposed to be some kind of gotcha? I'm actually glad she went back 2 decades to bring it up, because in 2007, Democrats convened the Rules Committee at 1 a.m. to protect people's health care. You guys have us meeting at 1 a.m. to rip it away. Now look at the record. George W. Bush was president, and the Children's Health Insurance Program was about to expire. That's an actual emergency, not a fake emergency like this. He vetoed not 1, but 2 of the bills that we sent him because he didn't want to cover those additional kids. So you guys caught us doing what exactly? Trying to protect coverage for uninsured kids. Great, we're proud of that. There is no comparison here. This is a 1,000-page bill, for God's sake. 1,000+ pages, and you want to shove it through in the dead of night because Trump said, close your eyes and vote for it. You're using emergency procedures to jam this through Congress to meet an artificial deadline that you created yourselves because the billionaires just couldn't wait for their tax cut. It's astonishing, really. It takes my breath away. It's just over 100 days, and you guys have gone from promising to lower costs to ripping away people's health care. Now, of course, you don't want anyone to know what you're doing here. It's because you know that this bill betrays the people who voted for you. You have the most ineffective Congress in a century. You've passed almost no legislation into law. And this is how you want to roll out your big centerpiece legislation at 1 o'clock in the morning. This isn't just incompetence. It's much more nefarious than that. You are intentionally hiding what you are doing. What an insult to the people of this country. What disdain you guys must have for the people who voted for you. You know, people are so tired of getting screwed over by a system that doesn't work for them. America is fed up with this BS, and people want change. And I don't blame them. I'm fed up too. They want us to make things better for regular people. And what your big, ugly bill does is the exact opposite. You guys and Trump are perpetuating the exact broken system that people hate. You're rigging things for the rich and powerful. More tax breaks for billionaires while regular people get screwed. More giveaways for those at the top while moms and dads struggle to get by. More loopholes into the tax code for Wall Street CEOs and bankers while working families fall further and further behind. That's the Republican agenda. That's what you guys think is big and beautiful. Greed, corruption, and tax breaks for billionaires. You want to steal from the wallets of working class people, steal from their ability to buy food and get health care, and then you have the nerve to claim that this bill is about cutting costs and reducing waste? Give me a break. This bill raises the debt limit by $4 trillion. $4 trillion with a T. Even your own members, budget hawks in the House and Senate, weren't happy with the latest version of this bill because they know it will blow up our deficit. And the true cost is likely trillions of dollars higher, a cost shouldered by the American taxpayer. So you want to cut taxes for the rich and pay for it by exploding the debt and stealing from the American people. Stealing from people with the least so you guys can give more to those with the most. And I just find that fundamentally wrong, fundamentally cruel, totally out of touch, and totally and fundamentally immoral. Now let me walk through what your bill does, since you guys are so eager to sweep it under the rug. First, you are making the biggest cuts to Medicaid in American history. As a result of this bill, nearly 14 million Americans will lose their health care, and millions more will pay higher premiums, co-pays, and deductibles. That's just a fact. Hospitals will close, nursing homes will shut down, and people will die. And not a single one of the proposals in your bill is about making Medicaid work better. Not one. Your bill doesn't save Medicaid. Your bill destroys Medicaid. We can and we should make Medicaid work better. Absolutely. Instead, your bill creates more red tape, more hurdles, and kicks struggling people off their health insurance. Now, who asked for this garbage? I mean, more red tape? Oh, boy. When I talk to people back home, that's exactly what they want with their health care. More red tape. I mean, come on. And then, if that's not bad enough, you are making the biggest cut to food assistance in American history. According to the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office, at least 5 million Americans will lose food assistance under your plan. 5 million more hungry Americans because of this bill. And that's probably a lowball estimate, by the way. You're slashing benefits from children, from seniors living on fixed incomes, from veterans who served this country and now rely on food assistance just to get by. And why? And why? So that the top 0.1%, people making over $3.5 million a year, can pocket $314,000 a year in new tax giveaways. I mean, you are literally taking food off kids' plates to buy Elon Musk another yacht. I guess he's getting a good return on his campaign donations, but I just find this whole thing disgusting. And look, at the end of the day, this is simple. It is simple. It's about whose side you're on. You guys wrote this bill for the top 0.1%. You wrote it for the billion-dollar corporations who offshore jobs and dodge taxes. You wrote it for the big oil and big pharma CEOs who rip people off. You wrote it for the rich and famous, for the people who never, ever have to worry about where their next meal is coming from or how to take care of their elderly parents. So you guys picked a side, okay? You picked the billionaires. I get it. You want to betray the people who voted for you. You want to sell them out because Trump told you to. But guess what? Democrats are picking a side too. And we are siding with the vast, vast, vast majority of Americans who you are going to screw over with this bill. We are siding with the 14 million parents and grandparents who are going to get kicked off health care if this monstrosity passes. We're siding with struggling families who are already having a hard time buying groceries, and the farmers whose incomes will drop because you're gutting the nutrition programs that create demand for the food that they grow, and the rural grocery stores that they support, and the nurses who will lose their jobs when you start closing down rural hospitals. That's who we're siding with, and that's who we choose to fight for. Now, I've seen a lot in my time in Congress. I've seen my fair share of bad bills, but this takes the cake. This is not policy. This is theft. It is a direct transfer of wealth from the working and middle class to the ultra-wealthy, and it's being done on purpose and under the cover of night. Republicans have had every opportunity to make life better for the American people. You guys have a unified Republican government. You have the House. You have the Senate. You have the White House. You could have invested in housing, in child care, in clean energy, in community health. You could have closed tax loopholes and make sure that billionaires pay what they owe. Instead, you chose to side with those at the top. You chose to line the pockets of your rich donors, and the health and security of regular people be damned. This is not a governing philosophy. It is a scam. It is a scam. A scam. And I wasn't sent here to vote for trash like this. For the life of me, I cannot understand why you were doing this. Why the hell did you choose a career of public service just to do this? Just to rip away the health care and food assistance and security of working and middle-class Americans? Is that really what you came here to do? I don't understand this. I don't understand the cruelty. And let me say this to every Republican member who votes for this. You own it. You own it. You own every hospital that closes, every child that goes to bed hungry, every senior who loses care, and every American family forced to choose between groceries and rent, between their heating bill and their child care, between their kid's birthday party and their parents' long-term care. So you guys can force us to debate this bill in the dead of night. You can do it while the country sleeps. But the American people will wake up tomorrow morning, and I guarantee you they will wake up to how terrible your agenda is. They will remember this moment. They will remember who stood with the billionaires and who stood with them. We will make sure they remember, and I'll be damned if we let this pass quietly. I'm going to fight like hell, and I know I won't be alone. This is a farce, an outrageous insult to the people of this country to bring up a 1,000-page bill at 1 o'clock in the morning, a bill that's still being written, by the way, by Republicans as we speak, in a back room somewhere, for God's sake. And then to try to jam it through Congress in the middle of the night when nobody is watching is just unbelievably cynical. This is why people hate Washington. So if you guys think this ugly bill is so damn beautiful, like Trump keeps saying, you should have the courage to debate it in prime time. Madam Chair, we should reconvene at a reasonable hour and debate your bill in full view of the American people, not in the middle of the night like cowards. And for that reason, I move that the Rules Committee do now adjourn.